What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Elude, Stalwart Plays. Today we're going to be playing World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Yes! We're going to start off on Lucido. Like, we already got a couple people on level 60, we got some of the Covenant stuff. I'll get into it. We're going to do Lucido first. Now, I recognize that my frames are dropping at about a 10% loss rate. I don't know if that's because I'm like configured improperly. I was doing some tests. I was streaming to a test server and I actually did a whole ass stream that didn't get uploaded because it was actually being streamed or strummed to a test server. And I was just like, all right, I'm gonna take a break. And I didn't stream for a few days. That's why I took Friday off. I kind of just like didn't upload anything on Friday. But I'm watching it now and I see it drop in frames. It's unfortunate, but we're gonna try to work through it. If I have to, I'll restart, but I'm hoping it works well enough to where you guys aren't too bothered by it. I'm also gonna switch some stuff around here. We'll share the app and not my screen. And it's been a while. It's been a while since we played World of Warcraft. I'm coming back to it because I'm excited about the Dragonflight expansion. Really exciting considering I was like into the dragon writing and Century Age of Ashes gameplay and stuff like that. Now I don't have to go play that game because WoW's gonna get a version. I got my UI kind of set up in a weird way and I realized the volume's probably kind of loud. Let's get this down to about 50 and then we'll bring the music to about there. Y'all need to hear all that. And yeah, that'll be good. Now, I've also set up a UI for my screen here, I believe. We're no longer gonna go with the wide hardo profile. We need the, is it the wide hardo? Because we're widescreen, right? No, it's not wide hardo. Which one brings them in? I actually have a profile that'll bring them in. The Returned. This is it. But yeah, y'all should be able to see the mini map, the chat, the damage done. Yeah, well, I'm covering the chat. Let's see, let's make sure. Yeah, that brought all the icons in for us. Okay, cool. All right, we're gravy. And I shaved, guys. Y'all knew I shaved, but I also cut my hair now. I got the samurai thing going on. And I'm just gonna grow it back out and hopefully it'll look a little bit better than it did before. I let it grow out kind of wild. I didn't go to like the barber or the salon anything to get it done, so it kind of looked crazy. So I shaved a lot of it off and I'm gonna grow the bottom bit back out again. But yeah, I'm just trying something. I mean, I don't like going to the barber, and if I can cut my hair myself, I mean, obviously it's not gonna look great unless I just shave it all off, but like, you still gotta have the right type of head for that stuff. So I don't know, like I'm fucking around with different shit, trying different things, guys. All right, let's move this in because that was off window. Let's keep things within bounds. That's within bounds, right? Okay, so the idea here was I was gonna start kind of like fresh player experience to see what you can expect getting back into 9.2. And we need to get the hell out of here. That Borealis music is a bit extra. We've heard that plenty of times. Enough times. Now, part of the reason why I'm doing Lucido, I do have Zarbkin. He's our subtlety rogue at level 60 on the Horde side. There's no reason to now level an Alliance rogue other than, you know, the fact that he can transform into a werewolf. Now, part of the reason why I'm doing this is because the next expansion brings the Evoker class, which also is going to get like a form shifting, shape shifting ability. And one of the things I wanted to highlight was things like I have like this macro here where I go into stealth and I shift. I currently have it set up to where I can shift in and out of stealth and it'll transform me along with that. And that's this macro text here doing that. We have the stealth one, which is just cast 2 forms racial, cast stealth. I would specify if I could actually say, of the two forms, make it when I go into stealth turn into the, basically I want to be a wolf when I'm stealth, and then I want to be a human whenever I come out of stealth. And I'd like to be able to fight as human in combat as well, because currently the forms that you get require you to go into wolf form in order to be in combat. And you could just be standing there, like in your human form, and if something aggroes, you get put in combat and you'll transform into a wolf. So there are rules to it. It's the rules are in combat you are a werewolf. I'd like it to be optional. And I want the dragonkin to kind of work that way too, but I don't know like how much of a pain in the ass that would be to actually make that real. But and it's purely aesthetic. Like it's not, there's not any real like game breaking purpose other than like, that's kind of cool. I went invisible and transformed. Like that looks cool. Like that's really the only thing I really like care about, like regarding that stuff. It doesn't do anything to combat or anything like that. There's no problem with like mounting and dismounting and shifting shapes either. I actually had a macro for mounting and dismounting, this one here. So this does specifically my class mount. So if I pop this, it shapeshift me into human form and cast my mount. And then if I casted it again, it shapeshifts me while I go off my mount. So it's like a shift into form, go into combat type thing. And this too, like it'd be cool if it's actually, it's more weird if you ride on your mount as a worgen. I don't know if that's possible. Can you even be a worgen and ride your mount? I imagine so, right? Yeah. So with that, you get the option. You can ride your mount with or without your shapeshift form. But for whatever reason, it's just the combat. The combat's the place where you don't have the option. It kind of makes sense to go into your more savage, feral mode, I guess. But I don't know. Some of the vampire and werewolf fantasy is that the person's just as strong whenever they're in their human form. It's just like they're more battle ready, I guess, when they're in shapeshifted. So it makes sense. Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not an important issue. The more I talk about it, the more ridiculous it sounds. But I don't know. That's the shit I focus on. That's what I care about. I'm gonna get out of this Stormwind place. I need to go to the portals, right? All right. I'm going to Oribus. I'm gonna head out to Korthia, and well, I'm not gonna be able to go to Korthia until I level up. So let's just see what it takes to level up. It shouldn't be a big pain. It should be no problem. And actually, this is part of the reason why I'm stalling as well. I want to switch covenants because I've already got Venthyr and well, Venthyr is the only one I think that's maxed. So I want to max all the covenants out before the expansion's over. And that's kind of why I came back to 9.2, is for that reason, to finish maxing out the renown on the covenants that I missed. So the only one at level 80 renown is Nightmare. Other than that, I kind of casually leveled like some of the few others that I was interested in leveling in the next expansion. I'm probably going to pick and stick with like one or two of these. I said that this expansion, and I kind of did that. I kind of stuck to that. But what you see here is a result of me falling off and coming back to Shadowlands different times. Each time I come back to the game, I like to see what the game looks like to like basically somebody that's coming back that left off like for last expansion. So basically, if I started last expansion and from the last expansion immediately went into Shadowlands with Nightmare, like that's what I did initially, and I pushed Nightmare until I hit the wall. There was like, you know, the content wall. And after that, like I still liked the game, still had fun playing the game and wanted to play some more, so I went on somebody else until I hit the wall. And I think the way I did it this expansion was Horde first and then Alliance for like 1-for-1. I didn't actually do like one paladin and a Horde paladin and an Alliance paladin, but it does look like I went Horde paladin, Alliance hunter, Horde, you know, warrior, Alliance shaman. Like I bounced back and forth just to see like one, like what the different servers these guys were on doing. Some of them are like dead servers, like Culture S was where my home server was. Like this has been long since dead and low population. They've had merges and stuff since then, so like I don't know exactly right now what state it's in, but I do go to more populated servers. I had a server just for PvP, so I had these guys were my PvP guys, and yeah, so I would check to see how the PvP servers are doing. Don't really need to do that anymore because PvP servers are kind of done now. They're like war mode now, basically. So I kind of got those guys stranded on a server. Now I got like pretty much all my alliance guys stranded because I'm not gonna have one of each. Like I'm not gonna have a horde paladin and an alliance paladin because now we have the ability to have cross faction. So I guess more of what I seem to have been collecting is not max level characters, one of each side, but more like the different races, which is ironic because on horde, like I tend to favor orc. So I'm kind of like favoring orc, picking every other class that I think is interesting as far as racials and stuff, but like not all of them, like only the ones I find like some. For example, I did troll because I like berserk, and I thought about stacking berserk back then with bloodlust, and I thought that that would be cool, especially in PvP and battlegrounds. Like the idea that as you get lower, your berserk becomes more effective. Like just different things about the different races that kind of intrigued me when I heard about them. I was like, oh, I'd want to check that out. I'm gonna roll somebody that fits this class with that race in a perfect way. I kind of did that, and it just kind of works. Like I don't think you can make any mistakes. Like people would probably be like, well, if you're gonna be a warrior, what kind of race would you want to be? And honestly, like there's different perks for being any different race as a warrior. What I used to like was back in BC, the Naru were the only warriors that can heal themselves, and in vanilla, if a warrior had a healer, they were unstoppable. And the idea that you could heal yourself and be unstoppable, like that's what made me roll quite a few Naru, but I never maxed one out. I wasn't so enthusiastic about what I felt like was like a little like it almost seemed like if there were certain times whenever I'd be PvPing, if I just had one heal as a warrior, like I would have been able to destroy that priest or that paladin or any of the other classes that win just because they can heal themselves. So like I don't know, I get these ideas, and also like friends as well, like different people that I played the game with through the years. Like I just kind of liked the characters I played with them and kept leveling them. But it wasn't until BFA that I seriously took my alcoholism seriously, or Legion even. I think I was starting it in Legion. Initially the idea was class guides, you know. Actually, if I'm honest, initially it was to sell my account. I wanted to level everything to max and then sell the account for it, because when I started doing this, the idea initially spurred on whenever I heard you could buy accounts, and they were selling accounts for like $5,000 or something like that. So I was like, if I level enough characters, then just having that access to that many characters and that popping off point. And over the years, like that was the plan, and I think people had been doing that as well, like other people that had that idea. But I became attached to the characters. I started enjoying the game more, and I chose not to sell my account. And I actually started thinking more, like whenever I started watching like YouTube videos about how to play these different classes. I'd always watch Mike preach WoW. He would always do up-to-date current class guides back in Mists of Pandaria and shit. So I had followed him for a while because of his drama time as well. His drama time got me through a lot of long car trips. I used to drive for a while for my previous school and work and shit. And I would just listen to drama time on the drive. It was just the right amount of length. It was like an hour long, and it was like an hour drive, so it was perfect. But regardless, like I got the idea to do class guides like Preach, and I wanted to show like maybe like, I don't know, not deeper or more advanced mechanics, but just like, I guess my version of guides, like what I thought was the important pertinent details, and like where I go to find information out. And I kind of just baked that into what I'm doing now. Like I kind of over time have developed my own style, and I think even my own format, but like I think other people have kind of caught on to this and done it even better. Like Asmongold comes to mind, because he was basically the person I started following to learn Twitch culture. And just, you know, going to the different categories, like I love World of Warcraft. Who are the top people that stream World of Warcraft? They'll teach me how to stream World of Warcraft. And I've always been like a learn by doing. So I've actually been in doing things. How would I change my covenant? I actually don't know how to do that. I've actually been in the game, like streaming and actually doing things to kind of gain that practical hands-on experience and knowledge. And what I get hung up on more is like understanding, like, I guess not so much, I don't know, like actually so much of it is intuition and what I hear other people talk about. But you know, online you got to kind of take everything with a grain of salt, including people's advice, and even like following examples from what other people are doing. I think is a good thing, but like you don't want to be outright copying people without giving like you know, giving credit, I guess, or paying respect. But what I tend to do is I just stick to myself. Like I try not to like look at what anybody else is doing too much, other than like I said, learning the culture. Like I realize Twitch is different. Like they have a different language that you almost have to learn, and any language I've ever had to learn in my life, I've learned through immersion. And that's what I guess I mean by practical hands-on. So I think somewhere over here I can unlearn my covenant. I'm trying to like remember that that's what I'm doing while multitasking and letting you guys know what all the stuff I've been thinking about lately is.